Welcome back, guys. Week 11 of Strictly Auburn. Today it's me and Connor King to get y'all all y'all's Auburn sports news. First, let's talk about last week. Auburn, a big dub in the Music City against Vanderbilt. A pretty decent game. Connor, what do you think about the game, real quick?
Man, I'm just happy it was a win. It was a little sloppy. That pick six really scared me, but I'm happy Auburn family showed out over there in Nashville.
Yeah, Jarquez with another amazing performance. He had right around 183 yards on seemed like not even 10 carries. I mean, that was a crazy performance on him. Peyton Thorne, besides that pick six, pretty well. He's looking like he's kind of turning the page a little bit. So hopefully we see the same kind of results from the Vanderbilt game and to this week's game against Arkansas. It is in Fayetteville against the Razorbacks. A big, I would say, must win for this season. Connor, we're sitting at 5-4 right now. We need another win to get a bowl game, but this one would just mean a lot for us as students and the fans to get a dub against Arkansas. Connor, how are you feeling about this game? Scale of 1 to 10.
I'm gonna give it a 7.5 right now. I'm confident.
Okay.
Arkansas, they're at the bottom of the SEC, but so are we. I think that Fayetteville is going to be rowdy, and their backs on the wall. They need this win. They're 3-6. They got to win out to get to a bowl game. But I think we're just a better team overall. I think we have a better roster. We have better coaching. So I'm semi confident. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, let's just talk about some keys to success for Auburn. But confidence level, I'm sitting at right around. I would say I'm a little bit higher, probably an 8, 8.5. I think we always in the recent not last year, but in the recent years, Auburn's fared well against Arkansas. And I saw a crazy stat. Arkansas actually has lost most of their games at home, anyways, which is kind of weird to see that. But yeah, I mean Auburn's defense right now, keys to success has got to be the defense. They're number one in the SEC in red zone defense right now. They're playing lights out. So if they continue to continue that success on the road and on home at home, I think we should be fine. KJ Jefferson he's KJ Jefferson. He's 6'7", like 260 pounds. He can run the ball. He can throw it as well. We just have to find ways to stop him. Guys like Marcus Harris got to get pressure. Connor, what do you want to see from our defense going into Arkansas? How do we stop KJ and their running back?
Really, I think we just got to stack the box as much as we can. This Arkansas O line has not proven anything all year, but KJ
Hmm.
has. KJ is really hard to get. It's hard to bring him down. Really, we're gonna be able to get to him, but he's huge. He's a really big guy. He's fast and he knows how to move in and out of the pocket. I think that we'll definitely be able to get to him. We just got to get him all the way down, and same with Rocket Sanders as well. We got to have a big day from Keldrick Falk. We need to see him maybe bring in a sack or two. Also, Eugene Asante too. I'm expecting a huge game for him as well. Really, just find the gaps and get to KJ. Just get him down.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Rocket Sanders. He's an all SEC running back. Really good kid. Keep your eyes out on him for the defense. I think on offense we have to continue to let Jarquez do his thing, and in the last two games, Jarquez is number one in the SEC in rushing, number two nationally in rushing yards. So he's found a groove and he's grooving right now. He's hitting the whole of what I've saw from watching Vince Wilfork's package. We talked about this in the Vandy recap, but Coach Hugh Freeze is saying that Jarquez is being a little bit more patient and waiting for his O lineman to kind of develop those blocks and develop the holes. And you saw that against Vandy. So my question to you is, Connor, do you want to see more of Jarquez Hunter? How do you think we see him in this game against Arkansas?
I want him to get more carries. Absolutely.
Yeah.
The way he played against Vanderbilt. Obviously, Vanderbilt's defense is nothing compared to Arkansas, but we really saw a boost in Jarquez's chunk plays, which makes me so happy because earlier in the year it seemed like he just didn't have that extra momentum, that extra explosiveness, and it
Yeah.
really makes me happy that he's hitting his stride right now. I think we need to just keep that going, keep feeding him the ball. That doesn't mean we shouldn't get it to other skill players like Damari, Cobb as well, and obviously our receivers. But I really want to see Jarquez be our main guy on offense besides Peyton. I think our red zone offense is also important as well. Once we get inside the 25, I think we should hand it to Jarquez a lot more.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Peyton Thorne as well. He's kind of getting into a groove as well too. It looks like he's given a little bit more time in the pocket to make better decisions. Besides that the pick six obviously, but against Arkansas, I think he kind of he's I think he should play well. I think if he does what he did against Vandy and facilitates the game and throws to the open receivers and doesn't and limits his mistakes, we should win and just like you said, feed the ball to Jarquez and we should be fine. But basketball season is here. We had
Let's
a
go.
tough loss to Baylor. That was a we dropped the season opener to Baylor, ranked number 20, 88-82 in South Dakota. That was a tough loss. But Connor, give me your quick thoughts about that game.
You know, obviously a loss. It sucks. There's nothing you can really do about it. But I'm really happy. Honestly, I'm happy in the way the Tigers performed. It was really cool to see Aiden Holloway do what he did in that debut. I think he had 19 points, only went
19,
50% from
yeah,
three. Yeah, that's awesome. I was kind of doubting him before the game on our Twitter space. And Eli, you
yeah,
said you
yeah,
predicted he was going to be the score leader of the game. So it's really good to see that rook just do his thing. And obviously our returning pieces like Janai, Jay Will, KD, everyone played really well down the stretch. The last like 3 to 4 minutes, we turned into an Auburn basketball team like usual. But really, it was good looks overall. Our offense looks miles better. Our defense finally getting some stops. Baylor's a really good team, and I think they'll be in the Sweet 16, maybe even the Elite Eight. So it's a good test to start the season. I think we're gonna be just fine.
yeah. I think you mentioned our Twitter space. What I said on the Twitter space was one thing I liked a positive from the game was seeing guys like Chris Moore and Chad Baker Mazzara, the
Hmm.
transfer from San Diego State. They're making plays, and they're hustling to get the ball. Chad had two steals and a hard bucket at the end of the steal, which are just hustle plays. Chris Moore is playing. Looks like he's going to play a bigger role in this offense this season. And I was actually surprised by our defense. I didn't think we were going to be as defensively strong as we were last season, but it looks like we're sitting right around kind of how we were last season. We lost a great defender in Zeb Jasper. It looks like Chris Moore and guys like that are going to be able to take that role and play a more defensive role. And Dylan, I mean, shout out to Dylan Cardwell too. 5 blocks.
Huge.
Um, you know, if he's just doing that every game, we should be sitting in a good spot going into conference play. But we play Southern Louisiana tonight at 7 o'clock. So that should be an easy home game. The first home game of the season. I know the jungle is going to be rocking. That's going to be a
Oh yeah.
crazy atmosphere. That game's going to be insane. Hopefully, what do you want to see from guys like Aiden Holloway, maybe like Janai and Denver Jones, and a couple of other players on the team against Southern Louisiana?
I really just want to see everybody show the wealth. I want to see a few Lior buckets, bro. We didn't get any buckets from
Yes,
him
yes.
against Baylor. I know he's going to hit a three on Friday or today. Uh, I really just want to see everybody get the ball more. I want to see Jay Will score a little bit more, be more involved in the offense, and yeah, just get everybody involved. We have such a deep roster, and I think against a team like Southeastern Louisiana, we can really it's really a practice game for us. We can get our offense moving all the way and really just set up what we need to do for big games like Notre Dame and Indiana along the way.
Yeah, I think if I want to see Aiden Holloway kind of just keep hitting those shots. Towards the end of the game against Baylor, he kind of looked like he got a little bit antsy with his 3 point shooting. But I think, in his first collegiate game, that's kind of expected, especially a road game in South Dakota. Out of all venues, South Dakota, I don't know why, but
So weird.
being there definitely plays a role. So him at home, Denver Jones at home. I'm ready to see how these guys look at home. We Auburn in all sports play better at home. That home atmosphere is none to other in the whole country. So I'm excited to see what the jungle is going to look like this season. But that's it for basketball. We're going to talk about some other football picks outside of the SEC, or some are in the SEC, some are not. But the first one we got is number 18 Utah at number 5 Washington. A really big game on the back half of this season so far. Connor, who do you have in this one?
I got Washington. I think it's going to be a huge test. Washington's been struggling the past few weeks, but they're still rolling. They're still undefeated. Utah's a really good team, but Cam Rising is not going to come back for the rest of the season. This is a must win for Washington. They're going to have to play Oregon in the Pac 12 championship. So I think Washington rolls here, but it'll be close. What about you?
Yeah, I mean, with Washington's quarterback Michael Penix, he is looking phenomenal. Heisman contender quarterback. They just had a big win last week too, so I think that momentum is going to carry into this game against Utah. Like you said, Cameron Rising out for the season. Utah hasn't really looked the same without him, so I'm gonna have to go with the Huskies in this one. Next game we got number 13 Tennessee at number 14 Missouri. Missouri just got off an upsetting loss to Georgia. Felt like they could have won that one easily. Well, not easily, but it was a really close game, kind of a shock to a lot of people. But Connor, who do you have in this one?
I have Missouri here. I just think Missouri is a really complete team. Their defense is awesome. Chris Abrams' dream. Shout out to him. Spanish Fort native right here. He's doing his thing. I think he's the best corner in the nation, and I think Missouri as a whole, they're a really good team. Tennessee is not what I thought they were going to be this year. Joe Milton is not him. He's close, but maybe give him one more year. Yeah, I have Missouri rolling here, but it's also going to be close.
Yeah, I mean Brady Cook is cooking, I guess you could say right now. Yeah, the Missouri Tigers are playing pretty good football. I haven't seen them play this good against since 2013 when we were good. But I think the Missouri Tigers take this one at home. Like I said, Brady Cook's having a really good season. Luther Burden, the receiver, having a crazy season as well. And like you said, Chris Strain, arguably the best cornerback in the nation, also having a good season. So I'm gonna have to go with the other Tigers in the SEC on that one. Number 3, Michigan at number 10, Penn State. We both know Penn State is notable for their crazy home atmosphere. Atmosphere. I wouldn't say they're as good as ours. That's just coming from a homer. But Connor, who do you have in this one?
I actually have Penn State here. It was
Okay.
tough, but I think Penn State rolls here. They're at home. This is a must win for Penn State as well. Already dropped one to Ohio State. Amongst all the Michigan allegations with Connor Stallions and all of that, I think
Woo.
Michigan doesn't have their focus completely on the field right now. There's a lot of stuff going on outside of the locker room, outside of the field. So I have Penn State here. I think it'll be super close, and if Nittany Lions do pull it out, it'll be like within 3 or 4 points.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. I think I might go Penn State here too. I think, like you said, with other factors that's not really related to the team with Michigan, everybody knows what's going on with the whole ordeal with that. I think JJ McCarthy's having another quarterback that's having an outstanding year, another Heisman contender. But I think with all the other factors that are involved with that, and plus it's at Penn State, which I just mentioned is a crazy home atmosphere. So I'm gonna have to go with the Natty Lions on this one. Next game we got, we're in the SEC now. Number 9, Ole Miss at number 2, Georgia. Georgia's kind of looking unstoppable right now. They had a close scare against Missouri. Does Ole Miss pull this upset, Jake? I mean Connor. Sorry.
Uh, all good. We're used to Jake being on here
I
too.
know, right? Yeah.
I thought about this one for a while, just because Ole Miss's offense is so explosive, and Georgia's defense isn't what it has been as
Right.
compared to the last few years. But it's in Athens. I think Georgia rolls here. This is dog season again. They're beating everybody, and they're starting to really hit their stride. Brock Bowers might play in this game too. I doubt we'll see him
Okay.
as much as we have the rest of the season. But if he's in the game, if he's even playing a quarter or 2 quarters, I think it's over.
Yeah.
It's Georgia's game to win.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm going to go with Georgia. Like you said, they're looking pretty unbeatable right now. I had Missouri beating Georgia, but unfortunately, they didn't get it done. I don't think Ole Miss can do it. It's at Georgia. It's going to be in Athens, so that's going to play a factor as well. And like you said, Brock Bowers might play in this game, so obviously that's a huge factor as well for their offense. But I think I'm about to take the Bulldogs in this one, unfortunately. But yeah, I think that is it for Strictly Auburn episode week. Oh wait, let's talk about Auburn versus Arkansas
We
first.
got to
Hold on.
make our picks there. Yeah, come
Let's
on,
make
come
our
on.
picks for that one. I mean, everybody knows. Well, everybody knows who I'm going to pick. Obviously, it's going to be Auburn. Connor, who do you got?
I debated about this one too. This is a pretty even matchup here, and it's in Fayetteville, so you're leaning towards Arkansas. It's just going to be a really close game, but I have the Auburn Tigers here. This is a big win. I think that we go on the road and finally get a convincing road win. I think we win like 24-20, 24-21, something
Okay.
kind of low scoring, close game. I think we get to KJ Jefferson a little bit too much. Our defense and our D line is playing too well this year for us to fold against an Arkansas O line this week, and KJ is just not going to be able to withstand our entire defense for 4 quarters. So in that, I have Auburn winning.
Okay. I'm obviously I'm have Auburn winning, but I'm excited to see how our defense fares against a pretty dual threat quarterback like KJ Jefferson. We haven't really faced that too much this year, but I mean maybe Jackson Dart, but nobody like KJ Jefferson. So I'm
No.
excited to see how we fare against that. Plus, leading up to the Iron Bowl, obviously Jalen Milrow is he's hitting a stride too. So I'm excited to see how our defense game plans against KJ. That's going to give me some insight on this Iron Bowl pick. But I think, like you mentioned, the defense is they're playing lights out right now. They're one of the best defense. I say they're the best defense in the SEC. Um, and like you said, I don't think Arkansas can hang with us for 4 quarters with a defense playing this well. So I'm gonna have to go with the lovely Auburn Tigers on this one, guys. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate y'all, watching our episodes every week. Hey, we're doing Twitter Spaces now. Y'all go check that out. We had a couple of people pull up on us on the Twitter Space after the game, after the basketball game, but we're gonna try doing after the Arkansas game, and I think we're gonna try to do a pregame before the Arkansas game as well. We'll just see what everybody's schedule is. But yeah, y'all go check us out on Twitter. Obviously, this episode's going to be up on YouTube as usual. And then if you're making a long drive like Connor this weekend to Fayetteville, 10-hour drive, and you want to throw on a podcast, we do have podcasts. There are anywhere you get your podcasts like Spotify, Apple, wherever else you would listen to a podcast. I don't know, whatever else. But yeah, y'all go check us out on that. And that is it. War Eagle.
War Eagle.